It's a giant mushroom. Maybe it's friendly!
So the other day I was watching episodes of my favorite TV show of all time, Avatar: The Last Airbender. And by this time I probably watched the entire show about 24 times or so, yet one of the biggest things about this show that never ceases to amaze me is the ending. Or rather, how everything throughout the entire show all comes to a head in the ending. Avatar: The Last Airbender is a show that completely defies expectations for first-time watchers. The outer layer could turn people away looking like too much of a kid's show on the outside, or perhaps the anime-inspired style of it could turn people off, but for those who actually take the chance to watch it from beginning to end, they never seem to regret making that decision. IMDb ranks it at number 13 on the top 250 TV shows of all time. Just take that in for a second. Fans of the series understand that though this show is ultimately made for children, it runs much deeper than that. Character backstories, change of hearts, arcs that collide with one another, topics of genocide and tolerance are all sprinkled throughout. The show is an intricate tapestry of storytelling at a masterful level, and it presents itself as such in its conclusion. From the very first frames of the show, the audience already knows what story is about to unfold through the 3-season run. It's in the very title sequence. All you need to know about the world and how it's all going to end in the very first minute. What makes the ending of the show so satisfying is not only the payoffs it brings to watchers, but its reflection on the journey it took to get there. We as watchers have gone across the world with Team Avatar, back and forth, over again. Each challenge they face greater and greater. We built relationships with them. We've been there every single step of the way. We want to see them succeed. One of the ways Avatar brings levity to the conclusion of its story is simply the constant mention of it. We know that Aang needs to defeat the Fire Lord to restore peace among the world, and this is something that the show never lets you forget about. The show's writers seem to push this kind of idea forward by adding in sort of a ticking time bomb in the arrival of Sozin's comet, heightening the stakes for our characters. We hear so much of what Aang needs to do that when it finally comes time for him to actually do it, it's almost a surreal experience. As if all this time that the entire show spent prepping the characters, it almost seems like it wasn't enough. Reflecting on a story such as this tends to make one look at other stories within television or other mediums where the story never had a clear or precise ending, never had any destination to go to. Stories from shows such as Lost, The Walking Dead, Doctor Who, and films such as The Amazing Spider-Man and the more recent Star Wars trilogy. These are not to say that these stories weren't entertaining or didn't have any message to convey, but there was something inherently different about taking a journey somewhere and knowing the destination. Avatar brings every one of its established storylines to a full head in its conclusion. Aang finally confronts the Fire Lord. Zuko finally confronts his sister Azula. Sokka finally taking charge against the Fire Nation. And the White Lotus finally coming together to retake Ba Sing Se. Oh, and not to mention Katara and Aang finally sharing that kiss. Multiple storylines coming together for a final send-off. Avatar is one of those shows that stood the test of time. Even after its series finale premiered over a decade ago, the series still holds a special place in the hearts of the ones who were there to take the journey with Aang from the start. Creators Michael DiMartino and Brian Konietzko never anticipated for the wild success that they would have with such a story, but once success skyrocketed, they were still determined to end their story where it needed to end. No stretching it out to capitalize on traction, no filling in episodes just to make money. It was all about a boy inside an iceberg who would bring back the peace his world desperately needed. That is why Avatar to this day is highly regarded as one of the best television shows created in the last 20 years. It's how it ends, and how each storyline wraps up their character arcs, well, perfectly. Bringing in all its emotion, its stakes, and its epicness. Avatar is a perfect example of how the ending of a story can have such impact on an audience if the story knows where it's headed in the first place. Avatar: The Last Airbender is truly a masterpiece, so much so that not even its own creators could recreate such lightning in a bottle with its continuation, The Legend of Korra, a few years later. But that's another story for another time. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this essay. I had a lot of fun making it. If you guys enjoy this type of content, leave a like, maybe hit that subscribe button for more. Check out some other videos that I've done in the past. And once again, thank you for watching and have a good one.